Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
You guys ever had cheeseburgers before?
They're delicious.
Well, then you're going to enjoy this. Welcome back to Stormwater Creek Podcast.
Hey, I got a joke for you.
It's
I was
so
waiting for more.
good.
Jordan.
Does nobody like cheeseburgers?
I love
Nobody said
cheeseburgers.
anything?
It's like, what's the cheeseburger?
Jordan.
What?
Jordan, I got a joke
No.
for you.
Did you just Google
You're
clean
Jared.
joke? What somebody just Google? Did you Google clean jokes?
What did the What did the horse say after it tripped?
I don't know.
Help! I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Woo! Good job, buddy.
Well,
What did the
welcome back.
stoplight say to the car? Don't look, I'm changing.
What?
I apologize. I apologize for that. That was
It's not.
good.
You shouldn't. It's very good.
Whew. I'm sweaty,
So-
uncomfortable at
Yeah, you gotta be
myself.
careful with those traffic jokes.
We just went and did some
You got that
ironic
nervous flop
deadlifts.
sweat. What'd you guys do? What'd you do?
In the milk challenge.
Just ripped her.
Stop drinking beer like that on the
It was
on
the point.
freaking mic.
Just went and ripped
God.
an ironic 350 beltless in my golf shorts.
I had to put a belt on. I did 3 plates, which is now...
Got a guy.
Yeah.
What are we talking deadlifts? We talking,
Daddy.
talking squats here?
Yeah, Daddy,
That way.
he says.
Yeah, I can't say I've hit
Daddy
deadlifts
chill.
since high school.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Not since high school, huh?
Deadlift's the king, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you gotta. I
Oh,
mean, you
yeah.
gotta definitely be hitting the
Especially
weights.
when you're
It's-
old.
It's good for the body. I mean, and just like the mentality.
Do what?
Oh, wow, your knees running out?
Shit, no.
Your knees
Sorry.
running
Earmuffs, kids.
No.
No, dude, I'm good.
Heavens no.
I'm spry.
Yeah, I mean,
I was surprised at how well.
dude, you start,
Oh,
you
it
start
does.
laying off,
Yeah,
it
I'm
catches
falling
up
apart
on you.
already.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Oh man, you tell me I'm 25 and I go
Oh,
for a
man,
run.
I
I'm
just
getting
can't
fans
imagine
already.
this
I'm
guy.
like, God,
I just can't
like
even.
75
You're
years
so
old.
brave.
How do you do it?
I don't recommend it. I ran a marathon one time and
Who was
it
chasing
seemed
you?
like
You
a
ever run
great
a
idea, and I finished
marathon
it, and I
from
was
the
like,
cops?
why did I decide to do this?
Oh, my God. Abe,
None of us have.
why don't
They're
you
enjoyable.
Yeah.
do our listeners
I'm
a
sorry.
favor and just introduce our guest for this week's episode?
Let's get into this.
Yes. So we're talking to Carson Tharp from and Jahpoo Outdoors, right?
So, question before I answer that, I kind of want to like go around the
Okay.
room. And I want to kind of hear everybody's response on how you pronounce the company's name.
My vote is Jahpoo.
That's Jahpoo.
Okay.
Okay.
one?
Y'all's answers is Jahpoo, which is similar to Apu from The Simpsons.
You got to go with that.
That's not what I'm doing. It's a Jahpoo. It's an Asian
Oh, okay.
company.
Okay.
He's asking because
Alright.
there's got to be something
Austin.
we're missing here. But what it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Not where you... Okay.
Jahpoo.
Victoria, Texas.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay. Jahpoo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jahpoo.
no.
The silent J.
Apple.
Jop. Yeah.
That would be Apu.
It's a Hispanic
One
J.
poo.
Okay. Is it?
Oh, like yogging.
Hapu. And
Yapu.
Juan.
Is that,
yeah.
Juan
is
Poo.
that
Hey,
everybody?
hey, what did
Yeah,
you?
that's
You said
everybody.
Jahpoo.
He
Yeah,
said Jahpoo.
yeah. There's only 4 of us.
Jahpoo.
Jahpoo. Okay, so it's actually Jahpoo.
Jahpoo.
So yeah, Jahpoo Outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah, we're based out here in Austin.
do you do?
And yeah, the reason why I ask is sometimes I get Yahoo, Jpoo. What is
Where'd you get the name?
Poo-poo, and I'm like, okay, we gotta. So it's funny. I get that question quite frequently
guess?
since we did our soft launch in April, and so I went to the University of Texas here in Austin, and had a group of roommates. I got Sadie, aka Jahpoo, my junior year going in that summer. Came in senior year, and my roommates were like, "Dude, why would you name a dog Sadie? Like that's so basic. Like that's lame." And I was like, it's
does.
Sadie. Like it has a good ring to it. It works. And they were like, we want it to be something funny, like if we call her. And I'm like, okay. And essentially one Sunday, we were kind of kicking it on the couch, and Jahpoo came out of it. So, it was time to get the company up and rolling. And she was the overall inspiration for me in making the company. And I was I didn't want to name it like, Duck Decoy Company or Tharp Decoys. And, I thought I was like, no, Jahpoo. It's unique. It's niche. It's got a little bit of ring to it. And
could have been prestige worldwide.
So rolled with it.
Why?
I wish. Great movie.
Investors?
That would have been
Possibly you.
Possibly you.
That would have been pretty kick ass, honestly. I'd roll
That's
with
pretty
it.
awesome. So it's your dog's name,
Or
obviously.
like, prestige worldwide ventures. Yeah. So it's I got her 6 weeks that summer, and originally I didn't really have the inclination to make her into a hunting dog because I, was a junior in college, didn't have funds available to send her off to training and get it done. And there's a park here in Austin called Redbud, RIP. I don't know if y'all have heard about the algae that's going on here in Austin. It's like killing dogs. It's bad.
Yeah, I think it's called hippies.
They're homeless people. Sorry, vagrants.
Hippies just smoking.
Green jacket,
Yeah,
gold jacket.
it's honestly, it's a problem. It's a problem. But so she was 6 weeks old. I took her out, like the breeder that I bought her from. Right after I picked her up, she took the remainder puppies of the litter to like a little creek. They're swimming around. I was like, I need to do that. This is gonna be the best time for her to learn to swim. So I took her to Redbud. She's swimming. She loved it. It kind of became a thing to where, like, if I needed to go tire her out, I'd take her to Redbud, let her swim, like, to the point, like, we show up and we're waiting in line to find a parking spot. She's sitting there whining because she knows where she's at and she wants to get out. And so that summer, I was like, kind of in the back of my head, just a safety net. I was like, all right, she's 3 months. She's about to be 6 months. Like, let's just kind of throw the bumper just for safety in case I decide I want her to be a hunting dog. And then at 6 months, it was UT football season. And my buddy has a ranch out in Round Top. And he's like, hey, I'm going out this weekend. Me and some of the buddies, you want to come? And I'm like, sure, that'd be great. Like, now's the perfect time to get her, used to gunfire. So we did the whole gunfire action, and she was fine. No reaction whatsoever. She threw the bumper out, fired off 20 yards away. Ran out, got it. All right, no reaction. So got the shotgun, no reaction. Got right next to her, no reaction. And then I was like, okay, she's good. Dove season came. I was like, let's try it. And it took us like two trips out. And about the second trip, we were just dropping birds left and right. We're going on a PHL down in San Marcos, which, God, PHLs are rough because now it is a neighborhood. But that PHL was incredible, and we essentially shot like 15 birds. And in one pass, they were all on the ground, and she took off after the gun shot. And I had her on this 30-yard, 40-yard lead. And when she broke, I got the lead and pulled her back. And I was like, say here. She came back. She sat next to me, and I'll never forget. She looked me in the eyes, and I could tell that's when it hit. And I was like, she knows what she's doing. And she sat there, and then I told her, okay, back. She went out, got a bird, came back. And then, there's that split of dove season in December. And I was bored. I was living my parents live in Austin, and I was staying in my apartment. And I was like, man, I need to kill some time. I'm not taking classes. I want to go hunting, but I can't. And then I, got on TPWD. I was like, oh, it's duck season. So had some money from Christmas, ran down to Cabela's, picked up my first dozen decoys. If you ever want to get into duck hunting, probably a mistake.
Oh my
horrible,
God.
horrible mistake.
It's the
then-
absolute worst.
Horrible mistake.
God,
Do
have-
drugs.
Heroin. Heroin is a better idea.
More cost effective, less travel. It's
We need to get
easier.
somebody on the podcast to do heroin.
And
But anywho,
Oh my
continue.
God! Don't go down that rabbit
I think
hole.
Abe actually volunteered
No,
for
I did
that.
not volunteer to do
He
heroin.
smokes some meth.
You're already in Galveston. Why not, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
I could drive 20 minutes right now. I could get somebody to smoke on this podcast. Just sit like right next to me. Just be like, this is Jimmy here, and we got Jimmy a light bulb, and he's gonna smoke crystal meth out of it. See what happens.
Oh, please do it.
No.
But anywho,
Oh God, I'm not doing
you
that.
went and bought decoys.
Yeah. Yeah, so I went and bought my first dozen. Went out to PHL out at Granger Lake. I was hunting a tank. And, I couldn't get birds to come in. I was like, maybe I need more decoys. So I bought
Typically
my second
reaction.
dozen of decoys. Yeah, and then went out again, nothing. Bought 2 mojos, and then it turned into a butt up rippler mojo. And one morning, I was sitting on the Colorado River bottom, which this is a different story for later. But I was sitting there honking on my call. Had a flock of probably like 6, 7 green winged teal just circling. And, I let them come by, honk, whack, 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 whack. Nothing. They just keep coming, and then they flare. And I'm like, what the hell? What am I doing wrong? I've spent all this money. I have all these decoys. I have this mojo. Like, I need something that is going to mimic this feeding motion of a duck. And so, frustrated. I still haven't shot a bird yet. Sadie's sitting there looking at me pissed off and, doing her whining. Like, why didn't
The
you
look
shoot
of a
this
dog
bird?
being disappointed in you for missing a duck
Where
or
is
not
he?
getting it.
He's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when you whiff them and
that's
they're
the
looking at
worst.
you like, are you shitting me?
You
Like,
had one
we've been
job,
waiting here
sir.
for an hour.
Look at us.
You're supposed to shoot, not go get them.
Like,
Yeah, that is the worst.
He's
That's
not even
disappointing.
mad. Max isn't even mad. He's disappointed.
Especially when you go on
which
like
is worse.
yeah,
Like
he is. Yeah,
or even when you go on like an 8-hour drive and you just get skunked.
Oh, that's what we base this
And then the
podcast
dogs
around.
are just like, seriously, man.
Yep. Basically.
But yeah, man, I essentially scanned the market, got on Google, digged, found nothing, and I was like, okay, like what if you made it this way? And I was in a fraternity at UT and had some buddies that are great mechanical engineers and kind of pitched the idea to them, and yeah, man, like that won't work, and I just kind of threw it on the back burner. And then COVID hit. And one of my good buddies, who was a roommate of mine after we graduated, he was like, hey, man, what can we do to make some money? And I was like, well, I've had this idea.
Hold on.
And
Hear me out.
One of my friends comes to
yeah,
me and
one
asks what we
second.
can do to make some money.
Heroin.
You guys ever sold drugs?
We can sell you on the street.
Man, you
This
buy
kid
in
gets
bulk
it.
and then you disperse it.
See?
It's that easy. It's simple business. Simple business.
Buy for
plan.
$1,
Take
sell
that
for
shirt
$2.
off, okay?
That's how it
Unbutton the
works,
top
right?
2 buttons, man. We got to make this deal.
Exactly. Show a little skin.
Yeah, draw on the buyer,
so
will
your
you?
buddy calls you.
But yeah, so he's like, hey man, how do we make some money? And I'm like, because we had free time, we were in lockdown, and we were like, let's do this. And I'm the type of guy to where like, if I say I'm going to do something or if I'm going to commit to something, I'm going to do it. I don't back out. I don't, half do anything, so to say. And so that kind of kicked me in gear. I started working on it, started researching it, reached out to my good buddy, who's now a co-founder, who we both started duck hunting together. Like, I had never bird hunted before until I got Sadie. And he was my roommate. We started duck hunting with Sadie together, and he is a civil engineer from UT. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey man, this is my idea. This is what I'm working on. You got any ideas of like how we could kind of, modify some things? And he's like, yeah, man, like let me help. And, really like ever since then, the Jahpoo became a thing. It's kind of turning into a full-time thing for me, and, couldn't be more grateful for, the support from my friends and family, and, the God above looking down, kind of keeping us in our hands. And, I was crying at the soft launch. I was very frustrated with myself before because I didn't get to the point that I wanted to get at for that soft launch. But then the feedback I was getting from people and, taking photos and sharing it to their friends, their brothers that are up in, Wisconsin or Louisiana, or their guides, or like, one of the ambassadors for turtle boxes, there's, he's a big duck hunter. He's like, oh my God, I got to have one of these. Like, let me know. And like, we do product swaps. And, the owner of Sportsman's Finest was there going around from booth to booth. And it was funny because I'm in sales. I do oil acquisitions, and my co-founder, the engineer I was telling you about, he's not really like a salesy guy. And the owner of Sportsman Finance was talking with him, and I was like, okay, let's kind of like see how Will does here, like how Will talks with this guy. And the guy was like, I want you guys in every single one of my stores. Like, who do I talk to? How do I get y'all in my stores? And I like that weekend I got home, and like I could have been more thankful. Like God had a plan for me, and I was literally just in tears because all this hard work, the past 2 years, the doubt that I'd felt, the pain, like oh my gosh, is this going to work? I've thrown in so much capital. We've had, X amount of different prototypes just fail on us. And,
there's nothing
here
better
it
than
is.
that feeling of all that hard work and seeing the end of the road, man. Like, awesome.
I know it's incredible. And like, especially being a liberal arts major from UT and, Macomb's telling me no and even applying to their master's program and getting in, and then they told me no because there weren't enough applicants. Like, I mean, just the amount of people that told me no, you can't do this. Like, they doubted me, and like, just I'm the type of guy that like in high school, like I wasn't necessarily the cream of the crop. I, kind of was like a little bit on the downtrend, but I was like, no, I'm gonna prove these people wrong, and
Well,
I like to
oh,
prove
yeah,
people
man.
So
wrong.
none of us went to college.
Hold on. I did.
I mean, we all
Did.
did. I only had a semester left.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't.
I always
mean
check the
anything. You can do
box.
anything you want.
Some college completed when I'm filling.
Mine
out a
just
Burger King
says
application.
present. Like when I put the
I have
date range, it
tattoos.
just
I don't
says
have a
present
job.
because I'm still kind of going.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, man. If you just click that you had an undergraduate degree, and they're not at KPMG or Deloitte, like hiring some sophomores out
Here's
of
the deal,
college,
buddy.
nobody's going
We're
to check
40.
that shit.
Nobody's checking it anyways.
Yeah.
No, man, it's cool. I'm still in my
Yeah.
30s, man.
I'm working it out, man.
Yeah, I think if I went
No.
to college,
I don't even put.
Still
I
taking
mean,
physics too.
I don't have any school stuff on my resume anymore. Zero.
It's
There's no
'cause-
reason.
it's
Yeah,
'cause
I mean,
his
that's a
job
good thing.
history is so
I
long
mean, that's
because
not how it's
he's
supposed to happen.
50.
50.
So
So
where's your blanket?
Ouch.
Where's your
we
blanket?
fix the AC.
Where's your cirrhosis
My
quilt?
metabolism is back to cranking.
This boy's sweating right now.
I am.
He had like I don't know. He probably
He
had
the sauna and the
how
cold
many
plunges.
ounces of
He's
It's a pound.
right after
Yeah.
the
He had
deadlift.
16 ounces of meat.
Well,
I had 2
I was
sandwiches
quite
before I
proud of
got
him at
here.
bear camp for not being just. He was not like. I figured it got chilly at night. I figured he would just be like wrapped up in a
We're not-
blanket, just
why
covered in
are you-
I was
layers. He was
naked.
good. He
We
was.
keep talking like
Yeah.
leave it.
Quit that.
We got
Abe.
that on another episode. We're talking
It's
about
one thing. It's the one thing.
We're over here-
tease
we're
it a
talking
little
about
bit. So you always don't know about
decoys.
teasing.
Abe. If I were there, I would give
I
you
know.
the next.
So
Hey, I mean, dude, I'm all about talking about fitness and
No,
high
I'm
protein,
talking about
low-intake
fitness
diet.
pizza in my
It's
mouth.
It's a thing.
Okay, so here's the deal. How did you?
This guy just worked.
What was kind of like your?
Fit.
What was like prototype one?
He
What were
doesn't
you
wanna
like? How'd you like rough this thing out?
Daddy, chill.
I was prototype one. That's a great question. So prototype one, this was like, I mean, it's pretty funny. I mean, it was a 3D printed shell, or actually, no, it was even a 3D printed shell. I think I have it in the closet. It's a duck decoy that we like cut opened along the top, and we started moving weights around inside of it to kind of like figure out like the center of buoyancy, the center of mass, and try to create that tilt. And then my co-founder was like, we need a 3D print, make our own shell. He designed the shell. And then I mean, there were like probably 4 or 5 different design variations. And I mean, it like I said, it's taken us about like 2 years to get to where we're at. We got the prototype working in October of 2022, and we became patent pending in January. And then the soft launch really was just kind of what kicked it in gear, because I had been to the show last year. It's called Affinity Fair. They go to Austin. They do Dallas, Houston. I want to say they do Nashville. They're looking at Denver. And I think they do Atlanta. But I went to the one here last year because my roommate, who's the one I was telling you about, that kind of like was like, hey man, like how to make some money. He used to work at Poncho. Are y'all familiar with Poncho Outdoors?
Oh yeah,
Stuff.
love their shirts.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're pretty rad. I actually have some
It's
Jahpoo
awesome.
merch
I
of
didn't
them.
know
They're
about that.
great.
Their stuff's awesome. I just said awesome 3 times.
I'll be like, hey, Cole, like, get these guys a discount for Poncho. But but yeah, dude. So essentially, he went because Poncho had a booth there, and I woke up that morning after, a late night out downtown. And he's like, you got to go to the show. And I'm like, what? Like, really? And he's like, yeah, man, you should go check it out. Like, I saw duck decoys. And I was like, all right, let's just weather the storm. Let's go try to network. This is only, bear through it. So I went to the show. I met Addison Edmonds, one of the founders, or the founder of Gunner Kennels. And then I also met Jordan Stockton, the founder of High and Dry.
That guy's a punk. That guy's
We were
a
talking
punk.
yesterday. We're having lunch tomorrow. Like, he lives right by me.
Which one?
Yeah.
Stockman.
Yeah.
I know. It's funny. I was actually texting him earlier this week because I was like, "Hey, man, like,
Have you heard of these
sound
morons
like
I'm about to be on a podcast with?" And he's like,
Just
"Oh,
save
Jesus."
yourself.
Yeah, he's like, man, best of luck. Like, prepare a little bit for it. No, he didn't say. He didn't say any of that. He's a great guy. He kind of took me underneath the wing, and he's like, man, you need to talk with this person. And ever since then, Jordan, I mean, he's
That's awesome.
been a huge mentor to me, huge influence. And he kind of questions I have of like, oh man, like I need this, or like, am I doing this right? Am I going the right direction? He's like, do this, do this, do this. And yeah, couldn't be more grateful. So ever since I met him, he connected me with a contractor that kind of helped design some of their products. And I started talking with him, and he just we went through probably 3 or 4 different design variations. And yeah, man, just took off. So went to that fair in April, and I essentially before that was you put it on the back burner. I was like, I had some things worked out, and I told myself at that fair last year that I was going to be at it in 2023.
Which one
was my
this
goal?
again?
And April came around. Sorry, sir.
Dad. Nah, dude. What fair are you talking about? Which one?
Yeah, the AF fair, the one here in
yeah.
Austin that we did our soft launch for. So I told myself last year in 2022 I was going to be at this fair in 2023. Beginning of April came around. We had the patent pending in January, and I was like, I think it's in May. I looked it up, and it was April 15th. And so I contacted one of the contacts there, Tim, and he was like, yeah, man, we actually have one extra spot. Let me see if we get you in. He talked with the founder of AFR, and they're like, man, we can't wait to have you. We love the product, love the idea. And, of course I'm showing up, and there's all these guys, these big, photo shot, professional photography background to their tent, and, logo tent, and, big display. And this is our first one. And
you got an Academy pop-up, and a
Academy
plastic table.
Little table. I paid $200 for a little table cover. And then I had a 100-gallon tank that I bought from Tractor Supply to run the decoys in. And yes, sir. They're good for ice baths, by the way. I highly recommend. They're pretty badass. And we brought all that, and it kind of felt like a science fair in a way. This is
my potato clock.
It would have been way better if you just steered right into it and then hand wrote a sign for
on one of those trifold boards.
Oh man, you should 100% just steered right into it, or you should next time now because people know you and they know the product.
Yeah, it's funny.
Be brand ambassadors.
Yeah, I'll do that at the next show.
I got you.
Yeah,
we'll talk more about my drawing.
Yeah.
Actually, let's schedule a call next week. I'll take your consultation.
Yeah, I'm super interested.
Have you designed my trifold?
Are you going to make different species of duck decoys, or are you going to stick with the mallard?
Yeah. So kind of jumping forward here. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, that's one thing we got feedback from. We've gotten it back a lot. People have been asking for godwall. People have been asking for black duck. People are asking for teal. Right now, because we're going to be making everything here in the U.S., we're just going to stick with the mallard drake just for purposes of painting. And then as we progress on, the game plan is to venture into other species. I don't really know. Number 2 is obviously going to be a mallard hen. And then going from there, I mean, it would be kind of cool to jump to hitting
I would say do it
blue wing or green wing.
Green head. Yeah, a green wing, blue wing, teal, going into red head maybe. I don't know. We can vary it. It's really I mean, the shell is pretty standard. We could easily paint it up, jazz it up however we want. It's just a matter of like figuring out what color paint, application.
Some decoy companies have gone really down the rabbit hole of what their decoy paints will look like under UV and under different light things because ducks clearly see much differently. Have you gone down that hole?
Yeah. Yeah. So the paint on our it's called the Flyway Deputy is essentially very similar, almost exactly to the Dive Bomb F1 Mallard. So I wouldn't say that it's like we have UV paint, but it's very
similar,
applicable. Yeah, and like just for right now, early stage, these first couple thousand units, we'll be doing it this manner, and then obviously as we progress, increase our technology and detail on the decoys.
That's awesome.
Explain the decoy. Yeah. I think we've talked about it, but I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I think I feel like that's kind of like the suspense here, the background. Like everybody's kind of interested to hear.
Duck, we got plenty of those.
There's your tagline right there. It's not just another plastic duck.
I like it.
$3 a unit.
I'll write it in the
everything
notepad.
else.
Just saying. You have this recorded. It's
can't be going to
my
Cabela's
proof
with
of
that.
concept.
It's a bonding.
I'll license it to you for $1, but I want $3 a unit. Serious.
This ain't your father's decoy.
Yeah, remember, I'm your dad.
I brought you into this world. I'll take you out of this world.
Gotta be careful. But yeah, so essentially, like whenever I was hunting with the Mojos, that when I was talking about the Colorado River, I was very frustrated with how difficult it was to set stuff up because I was also going down to Matagorda Bay. Growing up in Victoria, I had a lot of buddies hunt the coast, so we went down to PHL and Tivoli. I don't know if you've ever been down there. It's like north of Rockport. Yeah,
that's
so
way away from our spots, so you're good. Y'all go down there.
So it's right where the Guadalupe feeds into like the Barrier Islands. So it's like the Guadalupe Delta essentially. And when I was hunting out there, you park your truck and then you have to walk 300, 400 yards with 24 decoys, your Mojos, your gun, your bag with all your shells, the dog stuff, your chair. And then you're also going through a foot, 2 feet of mud. And the next thing you know, your next step, you're up to your waist in mud. And like, you're exhausted. You're breaking a sweat. The 28-degree weather outside doesn't even matter because you have a sauna underneath your jacket. And so my thing was like, I want something that's going to be very easy to deploy. I don't want to be setting up a jig rig. I want to be setting something up that's going to be messing with like all the different like lines and bungee cords and weights. And so I was like, what if you make something that has like the weight, the motor, and the battery component all in one unit? And so all you have to do is go set it down, press like a little remote control, and then it'll run. And so that's essentially what we did.
Does it run on a Texas rig to keep it in place, or is it just free floating?
It's a Texas rig. If it's free floating, I mean, that'd be some.
Yeah, I was going to say, how you keeping that thing in place?
Proprietary. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You
talk about that.
Yeah, if you figure that out, I'll buy your patent from you. That is ridiculous. That's incredible. But yeah, so essentially, I mean, these are like some mocked up paints, but so it sits on the surface like this, and it bobs down and bobs back up. It's very simple. It has a little waterproof cap that you put right here with 4 AA batteries like the Mojos.
And for the listener, you can take a look at this product on his website. He's giving us a little show and tell right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, apologies about that. I know we got some video going, but look us
up. We're doing this
Jahpoo.com.
podcast for us, not the listener. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? So you talk like it's us.
Support. Yeah. Well, essentially, I mean, it's powered off of 4 AA batteries. It'll run for 2.5 hours continuously. And then it's got a waterproof remote control that you can use for up from 56 yards away. Yeah, it comes. It's not like you have to buy extra or anything. Mojo chart,
Exactly.
like some of the other competitors do that, and I'm like,
Been down
I
that rabbit
don't
trail.
agree with that. It's and then you plug it in and it breaks,
And
and
then I
then
got
you
the
got to buy
cell
another
phone
one in like 2 more
thing,
weeks.
and then that doesn't work, and it's And then you
Exactly.
got to walk out to it, and then
Nope. No, thank you. So, yeah, the idea is make it a utility, make it as easy as possible to use. Make it actually work and attract birds in. Our slogan, apologies, is move that water. And the basis that obviously you want motion to move the water on the surface and create disturbances, and this thing will move water. We did a little marketing shoot this past weekend. It was kind of fun because we put down decoys, and we went and sat down on this like stump, probably like 50 yards away. And I haven't checked. The manufacturer told me it worked up to 56 yards. I'm like, okay. And I've done like 30 yards, from the back of the house to the front of the house. And then we're sitting in this little blind, and he's like, hey, run it. And I'm like, okay, we got birds coming in, run it. And it worked. And I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. Like, it's working from this far away. It was awesome.
That's cool.
And it was great because the ranch too is actually my company's ranch, and they have me managing like a bird habitat for them. We got like quail, dove, and ducks, and we've actually gotten I think we have like roughly 2 to 3 dozen whistling ducks on the property right now, and we're able to get a number of them to come in and decoy and sit down in the spread with the product. So, those people that don't know duck hunting are like, oh, is it going to work?
It's pretty sweet. I mean, motion's great.
Yeah, that was the one thing we talked about. This
Motion is key.
past season for sure. We were talking about motion as our. I think we figured out calling, and I think we figured out brushing ourselves in from the prior year, like really making sure our blind was set up good. But this past year, I think it was 100%
make sure the hide's
we need
good.
motion on the water. Like, do you have your jerk rig? I've got my jerk rig. You've got yours too. Cool. Run them all. Like, get motion.
Especially teal.
Correct.
How do you like setting up the jerk rig though?
I mean, it is what it is.
pain
It is
in
what
the
it
ass.
is.
Dog gets caught
Yeah,
up
the
in
dog
it.
does get tangled up in it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get tangled up in it a lot.
Sometimes
100%.
lose an anchor.
Well,
I get
Sometimes
it.
you shoot
I
a
get
decoy.
it.
and you're right. I mean, like carrying a jerk rig out to a spot. I mean, it makes your bag a lot heavier with the anchor and everything.
So much heavier. It's not easy, and that was like my thing too. And like it was like it has to be easy to use, and also has to be functional to where if you're in a river or if you got dogs running around it, it's not going to knock over, and it works. I haven't touched the river yet and run fast flowing water, but I have had Sadie to run past it during like trainings, throwing bumpers, and it's rocked on. It does its thing, and it was really cool because at the show we had it running in the little tank, and my co-founder was like turning it off just to kind of get out of the water, change batteries out, making sure no water was getting into it. And he stopped it at a halfway point, like probably about like a 45, 50 degree angle. And I was like, oh God. And he was talking to some potential customers, and it just stayed there. It didn't fall over. It didn't go forward. It didn't go back. It just held its position. And I was like, we were both kind of looked at each other in shock. We're like, oh my God, this is incredible. And so the thing's definitely sturdy, which I really like. And the ease of it is just kind of what we're trying to point
cool.
on it. But yeah, man, it is. It's exciting. So yeah, I know you guys obviously got Galveston, homeboys. Abe is going out ripping the havoc, or what kind of boat guy are you?
Right now I got a mechanic.
He hopes
boat.
he still has a boat.
I hope my boat. Well, I mean, if he stole it or it got stolen from his place, insurance is
And his
tight.
boat's been in the shop. For
Yeah,
about-
he got the new head in, and yeah, I blew a head on basically like New Year's on the boat, but I have a 1860 Go Devil, just like Austin does, surface drive. Jordan's got a
Hell yeah.
30 Evinrude.
Yep. Little 2-stroke Evinrude on a 15-foot side console.
So are you those guys I see on Instagram just doing donuts around one
not.
another?
Not around each other.
I mean,
but,
I mean, if
yeah,
it needs to be done, it needs to be done.
First rule of boat safety.
yeah,
Yeah. What's the first rule of gun safety?
we have fully. Yeah, that's a question
Yeah.
for you, Carson.
Don't point your gun at another
Have
person.
fun. Okay, what's the second rule?
And so
of
that's
safety?
the same. It's the same rules for boats. First rule of boat safety:
Have
Yeah.
fun.
have fun.
We fully fleshed out all 5
I love it.
gun
I was
safety.
telling
but-
them that while we ate. We'll save that for another podcast.
Make sure
No,
to
no,
fact check
that's-
that online, please, Julio.
It's
Oh
factual.
yeah, no, it's
I shoot a lot.
factual.
Written in the Geneva Convention.
Exactly.
What's this?
Exactly.
That's awesome. You don't have to give up your spots or anything. But what location, what areas?
Joe Pool
Texas.
Lake.
Do you
We're
guys
up here in
hit up?
DFW.
We
hunt
hunt
Joe
Joe Pool Lake
up here in
all the time.
DFW.
Yeah, no.
North
Hell yeah,
Idaho,
that's awesome.
just
Yeah.
below Canada.
Upper
That's
Priest
where we
Lake.
duck hunt every single
Joe
year.
Pool Lake and White Rock
Yeah.
Lake.
White Rock's full of ducks, dude. Legitimately.
Yeah.
A lot of ducks and carp.
There was a shoe bill out
Like
there.
White Rock is-
Everybody go there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it. My biggest thing, man, was like I said, I'm said to you guys briefly earlier is I'm trying to get my own boat just mainly because of access reasons, and so I spent 2 years. So I got to 80 in 2019. From 2020 to 2022, I was chasing a mallard duck. I could not shoot a mallard. I've had mallards decoys, nothing come in like in
You
range
come here and
to
shoot
where
a
I
mallet
could shoot.
limit of them if you want.
I got you, bro.
Finally
I
shot
get
my
it. I
last
know
one.
how it goes.
Well, I would love
everywhere.
to know where y'all go because I mean, I wish y'all would invited me. Because in Central Texas and Austin,
Yeah,
there are
it thins
like,
out there.
zip.
Have you killed a
There's
mallard?
zero. Especially on
Did you-
VHS.
did you get the monkey off your back and kill one?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I
No, you
had to
didn't.
drive to
You drove past
Arkansas
them.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to get access, and we're hunting timber.
yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
flocking
Arkansas is
in.
cool.
I mean, yeah, hunt and flood timber's the shit.
It's-
Absolutely.
I got family in Arkansas,
I mean, you could have
We
hit him
drove
with a
through,
penis racket if you
and,
wanted
and
to.
they're
It was
in
awesome.
the northeast corner of Arkansas. And I was sending videos to these guys. I've never seen that many ducks in the sky before. It was breathtaking,
It is.
and it was even worse because I couldn't hunt that
I would
weekend
never forget
because it was residents only. It was for residents only that weekend, and so I just hung out and drank whiskey.
We've done some sandhill crane hunting out by Lubbock. Abe and I have done speckled belly geese in southern Louisiana. Everybody but me has hunted teal in southern Louisiana.
And that is awesome.
I didn't either. Remember, I had to,
you didn't.
yeah.
I've hunted snow
Nice.
geese in Arkansas.
Is that
Hasn't been.
Anahuac?
What's that, Carson?
No, that's
Anahuac down there in Louisiana?
No.
Or is that
It's
Texas?
near me. Yeah.
what
Okay,
else?
gotcha. Yeah, I've been wanting to hunt
Why
that.
don't you if you want to hunt
Hidden
if you want to
South,
hunt
guys.
that side, like Houston side of the north coast, northeast coast, if you will, of
Yeah.
Texas, you can come.
needs to
come
make
up
the hell
with me,
hike.
bud. We'll take you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about his hike.
Yeah, he was talking about
I'm
300
down
yards.
man. I've been.
I get it, dude, but
Like me and
Oh, you-
James didn't even have
Oh,
it that
man.
bad.
oh no,
That was like-
you,
that was
you
not
just
old.
wait.
We broke a boat on it.
I've
Yeah.
Oh man, I
I've
can't.
elk hunted.
Yeah.
And
We've been hitting Eagle Lake, and Eagle Lake's like solid, but it's it's just all the development that's going on out there in Katy is just encroaching on all the farmland, and it's not creating enough habitat for the birds. They're starting to disperse
And
elsewhere.
everything is there is snatched up by guides. You got to pay to go hunt.
Yeah,
We're public land
hmm
servants. So
amen to that, man.
we're
yeah,
out.
Abe and I just
Raw
lived on a mountain for
dogs.
7 days bear hunting.
Nice.
We didn't do there were multiple 2 and 3 hour hikes this last week, and that's cool.
Why are we
None
so
of these-
like we keep bringing a
None
bear
of
hunt.
but none of these compare to the South Texas.
It's
hike.
just a topic.
And I mean,
No,
elk
no.
hunting in New Mexico
Oh, man,
doesn't compare to this hike, and it's a 1 mile.
At least you have
No.
like,
Absolutely
solid
not.
God,
ground.
no.
You're shin deep in
He's
mud.
talking about for an elk hunt.
Oh, are you
No,
talking
no,
about-
no. I think he's
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh,
elk
yeah.
hunt.
for an elk hunt.
That's the difference. This.
Oh, South Texas.
Yeah, it's a
oh,
mile.
No way, man.
Dude, Austin. If you're not careful,
And the other thing you got to keep in mind
Everywhere.
in South Texas, there's gators.
oh
Full.
yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it freaks me out. Oh my gosh.
You just have to accept
I-
that
when I was
death
a
is
kid-
an
You
inevitable
need to find
factor, and
peace
just
with
deal
death.
with it.
You roll.
Yeah.
What I really had to struggle with this year, I had to struggle this year with dealing with being in water around lightning. That was the part. I was fine with alligators. It was dealing with being in water with lightning strikes around you that I was like, all right, great. This is Had that happen a couple times and was just like, we're all going to die here. Like, this is it, you know? Like, how far from where you're standing in water does lightning have to strike before it kills you?
No one knows.
Yeah.
Because
Gotta be
everyone
close.
who's been inside that ring has died. No one knows.
Yeah.
It's called the Bermuda Triangle,
No one
Abe.
knows.
You know, I thought
Man.
quicksand would be a way bigger deal than it is. Just saying.
Just saying.
It's a
We're
thing.
clean
You gotta be
podcasting.
careful.
Otherwise, I would have another one that
Oh.
would be you
Ooh,
would think
we
would be
glossed
a
over
bigger
a
deal in
bunch of them
life.
here.
but-
Oh yeah, I'm at a 1 right now.
Clean
Yeah.
casting.
Yeah.
I think I slipped the F word earlier.
Oh boy, did too. You're good. It's his podcast.
It's okay, man. I don't give a frick. Okay?
hilarious.
So why don't you just
You don't
frick
give a
off?
F about nothing.
Freaking tell me nothing.
We'll just let him slide. Just don't make it noticeable. Nobody would tell.
Hey, what
Yeah,
the F are you doing?
They'll never know.
Gotta roll with it.
What the ass are you doing?
Yeah, he needs to come. He needs to come over there with it.
Speaking of what the ass, I can tell you about. So what I was kind of hitting at earlier, why I was asking you about where you guys go is because another reason why I'm looking at a boat is because here in Austin, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but there's this big plant that's been developed by a very famous guy named
Yeah, it's out
Elon
there off
Musk.
the toll road, right?
The Gigafactory. So when I first started duck hunting on the Colorado, I was actually just across from the Gigafactory. I mean, it was killer spot. I was able to get my first limit there. Shot, my first duck there, and essentially one morning, I woke up, saw a bunch of lights, and I was like, "What the heck?" And ended up being like, "That's like too close for comfort." So got out in the truck, and like was driving out. I was like trying to figure out what it was, and it's the cranes going up for the Gigafactory. And so now I no longer have a spot in Austin that I could go duck hunting on, walk in at least. So I gotta grab myself a little outboard motor to go somewhere where I can have accessible points.
My vote would be
all
a surface
day, every
drive,
day.
but
I've been looking at the
That's a
habits.
hole.
That or get
There's this-
yourself a friend who has a surface drive, because that also works too.
Yeah, that's the best. That's actually number one.
nothing but
Best boat's a friend's
Yeah.
boat.
yeah. The best
I'm
advice.
friend,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
best boat's the friend's boat.
Yeah, no, that's true. I get that. I mean, I was thinking there's Next Level Marine has them pretty nice. You could get them with the mud motor, like roughly ballpark.
Double
like
that
20,
by a
25.
prodigy. Be a man.
And I was like,
Do you know what a prodigy is?
I'd be a man.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
familiar. Yes, sir.
Or just buy yourself one off of Facebook
That's where
Marketplace
both of us bought ours.
and run the shit
That's
out of
what I
it,
was thinking.
tear it up, and get used to driving it and just not worry about it
S.
because you're
He
gonna
said
tear
S.
it up. And that way you can just do whatever you want with it. You can buy right now. You
Beat
can
it
buy an
up and not
1860
get-
Go Devil in, I think Carrollton.
In Trophy Club.
Maybe it's Farmers Branch for with a 35 for 12,000.
Did you? Is that on your Facebook Marketplace? Like, do you have it saved? Are you
Oh yeah, I
eyeing
can show
that
it to you.
one?
Yeah, I mean I can send it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can Facebook Marketplace is your best friend, right? For boats. I mean,
Oh,
granted,
man, I
yeah,
buy
buying it
so
from a
much
dealer,
stuff
you're gonna
on
get
Facebook.
a warranty and all that stuff. But I mean, it's a
I think
lawnmower
Abe
motor.
said granite.
It's okay.
Oh
He
man.
said granted.
My
Same
my
thing.
son sunk
100%.
his boat.
Oh, yeah.
and he has a
Dunk it?
oh he's torn it apart. It's running
I
fine.
figured.
Oh my
Rain.
god.
So
How did that happen?
He left it. He went fishing with his buddies
I mean,
in one night and came home, got in a rush, probably to go hang
As
out
he
with some
should.
girls.
As he
And
should.
My man.
as he
Good
should,
for him.
as he should have, left his boat in the water. And
you can't be mad
no,
about that.
absolutely not. Big storm came through, and I think what happened was it rained real heavily and filled the boat with water to drop the level of the gunnel, and then big storm came again. Bunch of water came over it, just sunk it. I mean, he sank the boat all the way to the bottom of the canal. We got it up, got it out, and then we tore the motor apart. Thanks for the help from the boys here. We tore the motor completely apart. Ran all the stuff through it. Ran probably 10 gallon, a ton of oil through the thing. flushing the
of
water out, and it's fine.
100
Hundreds of gallons.
Wow.
Dozens of
Testers.
gallons of oil. So
Pumping it.
yeah, but I mean it's a lawnmower motor, so it's not
Yeah.
complicated. You know, an outboard. You know, Jordan's a mechanic, so he knows what's up. Like, I just
much
if
the
it
outboard
breaks, I'm
either.
sending it
I'm
to.
just saying.
I'm the same way. I like kick it, hit it a couple of times. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with it.
Put
Like,
gasoline
I'm gonna have to take
inside
this,
and
take
put
it in.
motor oil start and the motor runs.
Yeah,
Not if
pretty
it's
much.
two-stroke.
Yeah, you put the oil in the gas.
Yeah, you mix them both
You
together.
put oil and gas in one container, or you just
Just
spitball
remember,
inside.
if it's a 4-stroke, suck, squeeze, bang, and
If
blow.
there's 2 gallons of gas in the tank, you take a mouthful of oil and you spit it in there. That's the right
Yes.
ratio.
That's the mixture, right?
Yeah.
That's the ratio.
It's
Yeah.
1 gallon of gas to a mouthful of oil.
We were,
50 to 1.
talking about grease.
we were discussing greasing buffer tubes on Jared's AR earlier.
Multiple ways to
And
apply
I was
the
like,
grease.
cover the spring, cover your buffer spring. I said, then you take a mouthful of grease and you spit it in the tube.
Damn,
It works.
That's it.
Oh, I just got another
Just
TikTok
straightforward.
idea.
Okay.
You're a TikTok.
Oh my god.
Do y'all believe in TikTok? I feel like that thing's
I
gonna
don't
fall
care
off.
about
There's
it.
no
I'm-
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
It stays.
That's
all
what
you
people were
guys
saying about the
watch.
internet,
So you
too, back in the
care about-
90s.
That's all you guys watch
Yeah.
and send. Or videos. It's the same
Dude.
thing with Instagram.
It's all
same
Chinese.
It's the
with
same
YouTube
thing. Yeah.
shorts.
No, first of all, if you're not on TikTok, you should be
Well, I
because
said I
it's
don't
just
care
like,
about it, as in TikTok, the platform. I've never been on it.
Yeah,
It listens
They
to
all
you.
do,
Like,
dude.
it literally, the app, like, you be talking with your friends.
They all
your
do.
girlfriend.
Since you've been on this podcast, you're being
Yeah.
monitored by a
But
Fed now.
TikTok is bad.
Just saying.
You're on some
Yeah.
set of, you're on a watch.
Austin has his
I've got my own handler.
Austin has his own ATF agent. that is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggie, if you're listening, hello.
Hello. I did sell that.
Reginald.
I did sell that upper yesterday.
Exactly.
You heard right. I did. I sold my blackout upper.
Yeah. It's gone. Oh, you did?
My
Good
extra
job.
one.
I can't.
And I sold my 1911. Looks like too.
Out of your trunk.
Oh, cool, man. That's cool.
You sold your
Looks like it.
1911?
Why?
why not?
Because I don't care about it. I got other guns.
Because he's
Or do I?
Or do I?
No.
Man.
Lost in
do
a
I?
boating accident is the most blood cringe
He's
bullshit.
going to the dark side.
No, I
it
own
sounds
them
like.
shits, handler. Let's go. Hope you got level 4 plates.
I like it. I like yours.
What are you guys doing over there?
Reggie.
Are those level 4 plates? Yeah, we
Yeah,
should get out of
exactly.
here.
Those Dallas boys changing
Like I said,
up on you.
I think that, and I put this challenge out to the three of you out there, because Austin and I have already talked about this, but let's join the Cajun Navy and let's go fucking,
There
let's
it is. There's a
go do some volunteer
There
work
it
in
is.
the.
Abe can't control himself.
It's okay.
I love the Cajun Navy. But nothing fires me up seeing like a hurricane go
happening
through
right now to
Houston
Abe.
and it's just flooded and the boys
Oh,
are
we
just
should-
rolling deep with their 20
We're down.
F-250s with their trailer, trucks on the back. They got the boat strapped
we
down.
talked about
Like,
it.
I
all right,
work
we're gonna
remote.
Go station people.
We talked about it with
It
some
will
other
still be
boat
raining when I show up.
some mudboat dudes up here,
Sorry.
and they went down for Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother actually went down for Harvey. They just went to the John boat with trolling motors. And we talked now that Austin's got his boat, and
Yeah.
even more so now Abe's got his boat, and then even Jordan's boat. It's like, cool, we're
Somebody will drive. I'm going to stay up front in my kit, and we're going to shoot people. You can edit that out.
Shoot people.
Only
We're gonna
people
listen
who
to
need
Fortunate
it.
Son on repeat for 3 days.
Word up.
Just blasting out. So we're loading families into the boat,
Shooting looters.
helping people out,
Kind of my
shooting
speed
looters
right
and
I'm
rescuing
in midlife
old
crisis
people.
mode. I think
Yeah.
we're going to back it up to this July instead of next July.
I think what we're gonna do is just
This is gonna get great.
Buckle up. This
Midlife
is
Crisis Austin's gonna be the fun Austin.
who's got September for venereal
Whoa!
disease?
God.
Wow. I was thinking more like buy a motorcycle.
on the pool.
It's like a death pool.
When will
God.
Austin get VD? Jesus.
Wow. Thanks, Abe.
First
Mom, please turn
first
off.
rule of safe sex. Have fun.
Oh, that's good. That's
This
good.
this
Goddamn.
podcast is steering
Gentlemen.
straight into a storm drain. Real.
Look, let me tell you what, Carson. Right now, if your mom's still listening after 53 minutes, good for her. Good on you.
Yeah, she's a trooper.
Yeah, you hung in there. Yeah. Look, we make our bones. If you want clean, you should go. You should join the Element podcast. Those boys are taking.
They're a meat eater crew now.
Yeah, they're on the meat eater crew, so they keep it high and tight. We, on the other hand, steer the other direction. You know.
Have you ever seen a car on fire on the side of Interstate 45? Because I have, and it perfectly encompassed this podcast.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going to happen.
Dude. Every time you see a car on fire on the other side of the highway, it's just like, wow.
How does that happen?
Dude, it just happens.
No, it doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen.
It actually does just happen. There's so many manufacturers right now that have problems with random fires. Chevy, Dodge.
Just like
Tesla.
There's one sitting behind my boat right now.
Yeah. We have a Dodge mechanics truck that spontaneously caught on fire driving down the road. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
It's tight.
That's why you don't drive
Stay
dogs.
strapped
What do you
to get
drive?
clapped.
So since I got in a car wreck last month and my truck was totaled, RIP. It was like putting down a horse, man. It was sad. But I kind of felt like I did. When I took that registration sticker off, when I picked it up from the collision center, I feel like I was.
Did
putting
you do
pistols
anything
to the dome there
to like send it off?
But
like, did you have a beer with it one last time?
So, I unfortunately didn't bring some Miller Lights with me. To say my last goodbye, but I took the license plate. The license plate is hung up in my living room. We got like some shelves, and so he will always be remembered. But so I had to get a new truck, and I'm in oil and gas, and so I'm a landman as a current. I'm also doing Jahpoo, obviously, but drive all across the state of Texas. I mean, that last truck, it was a 2021 F-150 King Ranch. At the wreck, I had 69,000 miles on it, and so shows how much I drive. And I've been eyeing the market for a while. And I don't know if y'all know, but the new Chevy Silverado Duramax,
driving a Bud Light.
They get 28 miles per gallon. I mean, so it's funny. I had a client of mine down in Poth, Texas, working in the Eagleford, and he's a fireman in San Antone, and he was telling me, like, man, you gotta get a diesel as much as you drive. And I was like, how come? He's like, man, those new Silverados, they get spanking gas mileage. And I was like, what? Like, really? And he's like, yeah. He said 28 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon city.
For the Baby Max?
Highway. Yeah, it's like a six-cylinder, but I mean, oh my gosh. It's like, he said this, it's his quote, it's like driving something with a pair of nuts. Like, I mean, you could literally, it's got nuts to it. Like, it's...
What motor was in your F-150?
Like, I pulled up to the ranch this past weekend and heard the engine rolling against the wall, and I was like, God, I'm driving
maintenance and repairs.
Incredible.
Way more expensive.
Yep.
I mean, you're in the $100 oil changes.
Yeah, I mean, it's only like, I think it's like 6 quarts. So I mean, it's roughly what the King Ranch was having. I mean, the other thing too is the King Ranch Phillip was $120 for a full tank. This I pay $70 for a full tank of diesel, and that's including like the price adjustment. So I mean, you look at it like a long run, at my DEF is like 4,500 mile range. So that delta between. Well, I mean, I thought about. I don't know, man. It'd be fun.
No, it's not. It's not for
wrong. It's wrong.
It opens up your motor. And all terrain.
No,
you douchebag.
You'll get better fuel economy.
This is what Jordan does for a living.
So you'll get better fuel economy. You'll get better longevity out of the motor, because all that stuff, all the emissions does is it puts emissions back into your motor to burn them through again. And the DEF actually robs horsepower and torque and fuel economy from your motor.
I didn't know that. So you're telling me I could get like 40
but
miles per gallon?
I mean, they're doing away with inspections. You saw that?
Yeah.
So that could change things.
Diesel doesn't have emissions inspection, but they are supposed to look for your emissions stuff.
Yeah, that's
on your
the
motor.
ticket. That's key right there. Is if you get caught without it, you get in trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
Delete that
it's
shit.
a pretty hefty fine, from my understanding. Okay, so question. So y'all might make fun of me for this, but growing up in Victoria,
No,
I grew up. Yeah, I mean, go.
Just
Okay.
kidding.
So I grew up fishing Rockport, and then we sold our house. I went back there in college, and it's not the same. Like the pollution that has occurred. Like I'm a big proponent of the environment and protecting habitat from like obviously Tesla and like going fishing on the coast and seeing all this plastic pollution. I mean, Abe, I'm certain you've seen it like going out to Galveston Beach or what is that beach on the opposite side of the bay from you guys?
Or Crystal
Jamaica.
Beach.
Jamaica Beach. Crystal. It's just littered in pollution. I mean, there's so much plastic. Like it's just like me and the other co-founders went surf fishing out there one day, and we found two 30-gallon trash bags. We only covered probably 20 yards, and we filled up both, and we didn't even get all the plastic. Like I'm a big proponent of like protecting the environment and being
That's
like
righteous.
our thing at Jahpoo is like obviously like. Well, I mean, you think about like I don't know if you like actually acknowledge how much trash and plastic you throw away, but like for us, like just the company alone and like how many different like shells I've gone through and how many different like internal component plastic pieces I've gone through. I'm like, okay, we gotta make this simple. So like we're gonna have like biodegradable like um, uh, packaging products that are gonna be compostable and etc. But my thing with like buying diesel is the emissions are actually cleaner than normal gas vehicle, and you get better gas mileage, better for the environment, and they sound cool and they look cool.
I mean,
You know how you get rid of your plastic? You just burn it with your tires,
yeah.
How?
Boom.
Word up.
and you don't have to throw it
But then
away.
what happens when you got to buy
It
new
goes back
tires?
to the environment, right?
Yeah, it's recycled.
If you plant it in the ground, you'll get.
It's like
Then
pouring
into your water supply,
motor
and
oil
it-
down the storm drain, so it goes back to the earth.
You got to send it back to the
I mean,
dinosaurs.
yeah, man, but you
They
gotta
want their
so,
oil back.
Exactly.
You gotta protect the ducks, man.
Are you
gotta
not supposed
protect
to
the
put your
ducks.
oil down?
No,
I
you're
mean,
you're
It's
100%.
pouring in your yard.
You're 100% right. We have a buddy that he posts a bunch of stuff where they do cleanups on rivers, and the amount they pull out like every day
Good
is
for them.
like insane.
It's crazy.
Like
I had like
Oh,
chunks of foam
Yeah,
floating in
foam,
my
like
The
canal.
creek we run up here, right
I
here.
mean, yeah, all serious. We've been trying to plan the
just-
cleanup for a while.
Plastic.
There's a jet
plastic
ski.
bottle cap.
Like there's legitimate jet ski up here.
I promise you, if you guys go deep sea fishing and like open up some
yeah.
of those fish, you will find plastic
Every
in their
time.
stomachs or like. I mean, my biggest thing too is like I'll go like the guy that I shot the first mallard with, like I picked up all my shell holes and I had them in like our sled and I was like, hey, I brought these. Like, what should I do with them? Should I just dump them in the back of the Polaris? He said, oh no, and he just dumps them in his cornfield. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, you're ruining your field, but also you're just adding all this plastic. Like, whenever a big flood comes through in this delta, it's just gonna wash us all out. It's gonna go into the ocean. And my thing right now is obviously being a sustainable company, but also being in oil and gas, kind of want to like have like an offset, a carbon offset for the makeup that we do, and we haven't had a recycle bin in a very long time, and this is one thing that I hope has an influence on our consumers. Is I bought the recycle bin and put a little sign, because I asked our accountant and other members in our office, being like, hey, like, can we get a recycling bin? Like, oh yeah, if you want to pay for it, or there's one in the hallway, go use it. And I'm like, I'm gonna go recycle I'm gonna walk 20 yards to go recycle a plastic bottle. Like, seriously. So I spent $15 at Home Depot, bought a little recycling bin, and then I posted up a little sheet above it, like, hey, this is Jahpoo. Please recycle your products. And I did hashtag protect the ducks, and that kind of spurred me to obviously be sustainable with our packaging, but also it's going to be on all of our deliveries that we send out to customers, because you compound all this, you're looking at landfills and trash, and in the long run, I think people hate on hunters because they're like, oh, you're killing animals, or you don't care about the environment. You drive a gas truck, which I think is completely wrong, a misconception. Like, actually, hunters are probably one of the largest conservationists that you'll come across.
They are
And
the largest. Yeah.
they are. And for me, like, exactly. Like, I mean, people don't really realize
The
it.
only
And
reason
like, for me
turkeys still
personally,
exist is because of hunters.
I want my son.
It's true.
Exactly. I mean, hunters manage habitats to increase food plots and, wildlife habitats, so wildlife could thrive and, reproduce, and so they could
Argument
introduce
could be made
more
for
for their
gun
game.
owners as well. Fishermen.
That's true.
Because Pittman
Robertson.
Robertson.
Yeah.
And like it just all boils down to the fact of like saving and like monitoring, these type of experiences, like going on y'all's bear hunt this past weekend, or going on the duck hunt and having the experience of shooting your first mallard, or like sitting there calling your first green wing and like having it sit in your decoys and like being able to let it get up and shoot it that first shot, or getting your first 2 double shots and one got passed by. Like having that experience for future generations to me is like so very important, because my sister, love her half to death. She doesn't want to have kids.
Smart.
Hell
I'm the
yeah.
last of the Tharp family.
She's smart.
I gotta carry the name, and I want to have kids. I want to take my son hunting, and I'm like, look, we gotta save this stuff for future generations. I believe she's born in 1994. She's 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, y'all are you old fart.
Yeah.
You are an old fart.
You old fart.
You're
With your old balls of loose skin.
What's your 5-year plan? Not to die?
don't die.
Exactly. That is my 5-year plan.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's get him
But
through.
it's
Let's get
so
him through
important.
duck season this
Me?
year and see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't. Are
dude,
y'all itching yet? I'm itching,
Oh.
man.
We
After seeing
started
those
itching
birds
February
before this
1st.
weekend, I'm like, fuck, get me out.
Yeah. It's.
Amen to that. Do y'all
What
do
does that mean?
conservation at all?
We hunt.
No.
Yeah, we hunt.
We
And
hunt.
we don't go
We're
over
members
our
of
limit.
Ducks Unlimited. Like
No, he's
the
talking
comp.
about the snow geese hunt.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
conservation snow. Like,
not
go to
really.
snow goose hunting.
I haven't yet.
I've done it in
Not-
Arkansas,
yeah.
but it is just up here at DFW. It's not a thing.
Amen to that.
You got to travel and come that. We're getting into
Yeah, you gotta go to
getting
like
into
Lubbock.
turkey season, and then then summer starts. And,
You mean time to
yeah,
fish?
then sand bass run starts.
Summertime's for beer drinking and fishing, and then you got teal season, or you got dove season, then teal season, and then dove
Bear
season.
season.
And then duck hunt.
I have a lease, and at
Deer
my lease
season.
we have 5 months of rifle season for deer. So, and we have ducks out.
Hell yeah! So you got the
MLP.
conservation, or not?
MLP.
Was it the game?
And we have
management?
ducks out there. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty. It
That's
works.
quacktastic.
Oh, I bet that makes it a little bit easier for scouting.
What did you say? Is why he was
Quacktastic.
being an idiot.
Yeah, I said that verbatim.
That's quacktastic. From Billy Madison.
Exactly.
I drew the duck blue.
Why'd you draw blue? Because I've never seen a blue duck before.
Congratulations, Billy. You just
Only
passed
seen
the
partial
first
blue
grade.
ducks.
Have you all ever been duck hunting outside of Texas, like outside of the South, like Arkansas? Have you all ever hit like the PNW?
No, Abe
or,
and
like,
I are
the
planning
Northeast, or
to
going
try
up to Canada or anything.
to pull Utah, Great Salt Lake swan tags this year.
Yeah, I'm
I
waiting.
think. Jared, are you going to do that?
I don't know. This is
Swan
probably a
tastes
discussion
good.
you
Oh,
guys.
man,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
give a
worth it.
shit. I just want to shoot a giant bird.
We've been trying to do it for like 3
We're
years
just
now.
retarded.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we missed the one.
So you don't eat what you kill?
What?
I mean,
What's that?
I don't, yeah,
I absolutely do.
Yeah,
I
you
said
would.
I don't care how it tastes.
You said you were just gonna go swan hunting.
I
And
said
just
those
leave it in the
words?
Oh,
pasture.
we're not going to leave it in the pasture. We'll
That's
eat
what
it.
I said. Yeah, I didn't at all.
I don't know if you said that,
But
No, we're.
I said
we're
I don't
gonna
give a
eat it.
shit what it tastes like.
I'll
I'll
eat it
definitely
regardless.
try to eat it. I just want to shoot a giant bird.
Yeah.
taste. Did we say that?
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, shooting a giant bird would be cool.
Oh,
At least
for
get it
sure.
Yeah,
mounted.
let's see.
I mean, when you,
there's
as you know, when you
Yeah,
get
this
let's
dude
Google
will eat
swan
anything. He
recipe.
got a raccoon where he's going to eat. There's, I think you got.
Come feed that thing.
What
That'd
else?
be
you ever eaten raccoon?
Oh, dude, yeah, swan
Do you eat
cutlets and
squirrel?
gravy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eat squirrel too.
Okay.
Squirrel's
Damn
good,
right.
man.
Now the real
Possum.
question is,
Squirrel's
and
not bad.
I asked this earlier.
I haven't hit possum.
Have you eaten a
That's kinda weird.
cheeseburger before, though? Because if you like
A
cheeseburgers,
cheeseburger.
this is the episode for you.
Come culo.
Full circle.
Have you eaten
Mc-
bear?
Mc-
I have not. I really want to. I've heard beer. So I'm a big cook. I love cooking. One of the things I like about wild game hunting is figuring out how to cook it. And I've read and watched tons of videos about bear hunting and like using the bear fat. Apparently, is
Yeah.
just immaculate.
Yeah, that's the one thing about spring bear season. You don't get a lot of
Ain't much
that.
fat on it.
There's a guy.
Ain't-
So do you know Jesse
been on-
Griffith?
Very well.
Very well.
He's a buddy.
He's a
You've had him. He's a bad.
Jesse and I text when I have
He's
questions about
awesome.
cooking things, homie.
yeah.
Ooh, that was a flex right
Yeah,
there.
it was.
All right,
It was.
homie.
Oh, humble brag, humble brag, humble brag, humble
I
brag.
was
Yeah.
trying to downplay your
Yeah,
culinary
man.
skills there. Because the reason why I asked is because
70.
he's got a restaurant here in Austin,
That
the
dude?
Dewey, and it's like probably one of my favorite restaurants.
Yeah,
Hell
Austin's
yeah,
been there
it's
before.
awesome. He's got
Him and
What
Jesse
is
are
it?
best
Have you
friends.
tried the? Don't they? Doesn't he have a taco?
Come on down, Austin.
Doesn't he have a taco
Chardonnays,
truck?
what
he
up?
has, he has,
Hello, Jesse. Are you
he
there?
does.
Tell
yeah,
us,
it's
kid,
out
what's
at the
up?
Desert Door. They have a Neil Guy burger that is out of this world. Highly recommend it. If you're not
It's the
familiar,
best.
you gotta go.
Unbelievable.
It's game changer. Like anything Neil Guy honestly is out. So what's y'all's like go to? All right, I just shot 3 or 4 mallards, bring them home. Ladies there, have some red wine. How are you
Those
cooking
ducks will
up?
probably
How
go
you
sit
cooking
in
it up?
someone's fridge for a few days.
I'm gonna throw them in the fridge for a week. Not even gonna, not gonna gut them. Not gonna
Go
do
dry
anything
age
to
it.
them.
Even if you have like
I
some
mean, I
gut
don't know. I'm
shots.
not opening them up to find out. Who
yeah.
cares? I'm serious.
That's typically what
back
happens.
in the day, you would age birds. They would hang them by their necks, and the old verbiage was until their heads fell off, and so until the meat softened enough for the bird to fall. Aging ducks takes so much of the gaminess,
Interesting.
if you will, out of it. I mean, I think 3 days minimum, and then breast them out or do whatever you want. But it changes it so much. So. Yeah, unless we're planning just to do something, like unless we're just if it's 2 days of hunting.
Are you talking like a week? Are you talking
week.
2
I'd
weeks? Are you
check
talking a
them for-
month?
I'd check
like
in the fridge for a
week.
week.
Yeah. I'm
Week.
typically like
Gotcha.
killing ducks on Friday, on
With
Saturday.
feathers or
yeah,
plump?
the whole bird. Just
Yeah,
like
you just
I take the
get
bird,
home
just
and
like
you
they do,
throw it in
and
the
just
fridge
throw it
and
in
you
the
go clean up all
refrigerator.
your gear. And
While
that's
you're
it.
in the fridge, you grab a beer typically, and then close the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of obligatory.
Hell yeah,
But
brother.
you know, if
cold Montucky cold snap.
if we're gonna cook ducks, I mean, if we're gonna do something with them that day, I mean, you can dice them up and throw them in gumbo or whatever. But to do something nice with them, yeah, I want a little age on them. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get. All right, so their age. Well, first off, before I ask this question, have you guys ever taken? So it's a little word of mouth trick I learned. If you want something quick, you dice it up into little strips, pancake batter, and
No.
fry it.
No.
Have you ever tried it that way?
We're doing the interview now.
Huh?
Killer.
Okay.
Yeah, like this quick. Just don't do it wet. Just throw it in there dry. Drop it directly in oil.
Huh.
It is a complete game changer. Highly
Like
recommend.
dry biscuit.
Do you know who?
Dry Bisquick. Like use it as if it's
You know
flour.
who Ramsey Russell is?
Russell.
He has a
He's
website.
another one of my
Familiar with
friends, and we text
I
frequently.
text
shared the fuck stuff.
We took all the time.
He has a website called Get Ducks, and he books duck hunts around the world. But he was on Meat Eater a
sick.
couple of years ago, and we had him on too. Actually, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
he was on.
Yeah,
We
we
had
had him.
Ramsey on.
Yeah, and
Great guy.
that's where I first heard him and whatever. But he was talking about a seasoning. I think
Yeah.
we only found it around here at it was Kroger. Only found it at Kroger, but it's called Cavender's Greek seasoning.
Oh yeah.
You get that. You dump all your
Ooh.
duck breasts in a bag. You put a bunch of olive oil in there, and you pour a whole bunch of that in it, and just kind of let it hang out. And then sear them just to barely like black and blue, like as rare as you're comfortable eating them. Done. Deal. Game over.
And
That's
it is
it.
delicious.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's how Bray
it
likes to eat
sounds
'em.
incredible.
She likes to eat them in just the Greek, like cooking for my daughter.
We make a lot of duck pastrami also.
Oh yeah.
Google
How do you
it.
do that?
It's too much to talk about. You kept to cure it. I'm serious. I'll send you
Cure
a
it.
link.
Cure it, smoke
Yeah,
it.
you cure
Yeah.
it.
I've been wanting to try it. I've also heard reduced pastrami is really good too.
Any pastrami is delicious.
Yeah, you can pastrami anything. It's delicious. I'd pastrami a shoe and eat it.
Yeah, as long as it's
Oh,
got
you
the name
can
pastrami, I'm
anything, I
in.
think.
Oh, it's like that Moto X guy, Travis Pastrami. Hey, that guy's fucking he did a backflip, or he does the car stuff now. You know when they do on they
You run Subarus.
yeah, Subarus. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's a good car.
The Nace car?
No, he doesn't do that circle track stuff. He does like I'm gonna jump something.
No.
And I'm in this.
I'm gonna
Subaru.
run over a fan on a dirt road.
I'm in a Subaru.
That's what he's gonna do.
yeah, he's
Yeah, that's
yeah.
hard
It's
go.
man.
it's
Mostly.
Gotcha. I've also
burgers,
have you ever
bro.
experimented with duck pastrami?
With what
Oh,
pastrami?
burgers are solid. Sorry, I said pastrami. Duck
I,
sausage.
I've not done the sausage. Your little. Did you already talk about your?
No, we took. So I took. I had a pretty good pile of duck breasts, and we got some. Abe had got some beef fat, and so we just turned it into grind, and we froze it into little like 1 pound flat packets, so they thaw easily. And I think the first experiment was I just made like some mini smash burgers, like
Oklahoma style.
Oklahoma style.
Oh yeah.
It's key though.
Yeah,
But that was
yeah,
killer.
you've no terms. I made burgers. They were good.
No,
what is Oklahoma style?
Oh, you
Yeah,
smash
onion-
onions into
smash
it and use it
onions,
and
yeah.
mustard. And I say that so fervently
Yeah.
because that duck grind is so rich, it needs a bunch of mustard to really cut that down and make it a little more palatable. It needs that vinegar. So that's why I
Put some
say
cheese on it.
Y'all mustard fried it too.
Yeah.
You did Oklahoma style and then mustard fried.
Well, that was yeah.
and mustard on the bun.
But then, so when I still had, I think, 2 pounds of that, and then finally Abe gave me a pound of that elk that he had, and we mixed all that together,
We did.
and we made those little sliders out
Just
at the
meat
Lee's.
burgers.
Dude. they're tasty. It was great.
Oh, but
yeah.
that's
Elk and duck and
And
beef.
you made some here too that were just the duck grind, and I was just pretty
It's
impressed with it.
delicious.
It was like, oh wow, this is super easy, and then it's a sheet the way we freeze it. So legitimately, you could probably, I mean, you just go through and cut your slices out, make
Cut
your
it out.
sliders, and then you've got Hawaiian rolls, and you got burgers
Done.
for game day or
I
something.
like that.
Oh, I bet that's
I still haven't had it yet.
Load it up. Are you throwing that on like a Traeger or a
Here in
Blackstone?
it, yeah, flat
or
top,
like
some
just,
sort.
classic.
Yeah,
leather.
Blackstone.
That sounds awesome.
Cast
I'm about to buy a new
I mean,
grill.
yeah, I made mine in my
Blackstones
cast
are a
iron at
game
home.
Yeah,
changer.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Potato.
Potato, tomato.
potato.
Tomato.
Over under on the number of
take
wins
care.
UT has this year.
What sport?
Over under on the number of wins.
6.
What
over
sport?
over under. Yeah, don't listen to these idiots.
I know
okay,
some
Carson. This
football.
is what
Don't
you
be
do,
rude to me.
okay? You okay?
Hang
You're
on.
right. You're right.
What
Jared
is
does
that
know some
guy's
football.
name? What
The
the
other
fuck is his
two
name?
do
What
not
is his
do
name?
not listen.
Howie
to
Manziel.
Okay,
Or
so
the
over under on the wins for the University of Texas being 6. Are you going over? Or are you
That's
going
the
under?
Red Raiders, right?
Obviously
They're the
obviously
T-Sips.
over. Oh, don't tell me red.
Oh,
Raider.
dude, Carson, don't fall for it. Okay, don't just stay in your
That's
position.
Over.
Don't even
Black
look at
like
him.
this.
I'm in the zone.
Right here.
All right,
You.
hey, talk to me. Look me in the eyes.
Don't you have
Hey, I fall for it.
you
I'm
have
telling
a
you.
cow for a mascot?
Yeah, how'd
Man,
you get
I
that name,
think-
Bevo?
No, it's like the YouTube channel, Vivo.
I mean, I think you're just a little jealous. I think might be a little jealous here. I mean,
He just
obviously,
hangs up.
Click.
Yeah.
No, this is what you
No,
say.
yeah.
No.
I'm
bro.
a gosh darn college graduate. I don't have
I
to
think the
deal
horse
with you
did
idiot.
pretty well this year. I mean, obviously,
No, the power move's not
I'm
to
done.
say anything.
never kill me on podcast again.
Yeah, just to beep beep beep.
Just hang up.
Just hang-
Sorry, what was that?
We're just being idiots.
The mascot's a cow.
Anyways, yeah,
All right,
hey,
say that
Carson,
again.
my name's
Tell us.
Abe, and I just really wanted to ask you a football question. Do you like football?
Sports stuff. Sports balls.
Are the horns back?
Hey, show him your UT tattoo
Oh,
on your arm.
It's
Show,
not.
Let's
show him your
go.
Saints tattoo on your other arm.
Show him
I
your
love
Saints
it.
tattoo.
And you Red Hot Chili Peppers won.
And Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Dream of California.
None of those tattoos are those things, but Abe didn't think about it very hard.
But they are, right? It's like one of those things. What is it like? A word that sounds like a word but isn't a word.
Oxymoron.
Not at all, but okay.
Oh, it's a catch-22.
I don't even know, man. He took English.
It's a catch-22. Oh my god, we've completely got off
All right.
deep end
Oh,
now.
we're dumb.
So, anyways,
Oh, you dogs.
Oh, so Jordan Winnington, you think he's going? You think he stays on the field? The
I don't know.
entire
I
year
think
this
we're
year.
pretty-
I hope so.
we're pretty
As
far.
a- he's,
That's my boy.
He's got to be. He's got to be a
Third
pretty
round?
popular one
Third
for you,
round?
right, Carson? Because from Victoria,
This is
he's
our
from
starting
Cuero.
lineup.
I mean, he's from Cuero. His older brother, Quincy,
Shut up, Austin.
actually was at the training program that I was at for soccer, and Quincy is a great guy, and I saw Jordan when he was in middle school training.
got
and
wheels
that
on him,
guy's
bro.
got drive out of anybody I've
This
ever
was a
seen.
video.
That guy's a freak.
This is
He
where I would,
does, I mean, have you
Carson,
seen the
don't
guy?
I would do
listen to
like,
them.
please
You see his
pardon our
hands?
technical difficulties, and you'd have the music in the background. Dun, 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 dun. Abe, listen, I encourage you to have sports talks, and I want you to get that outlet in your life, and especially with our new friend Carson here. But let's
You're the only two who care about
let's do this off air.
Yeah, Abe, shoot me an email after this.
we'll talk-
Yeah,
yeah,
you-
man.
Meet up with
ET
him and go
football.
duck hunt with him. When it's duck season down. At
He
the
needs
coast,
to make the hell hike.
and make the hell hike, and then you guys can talk
Yeah.
about football the whole time.
When we're talking about
What's the hell hike?
You're going to find out this year,
1
buddy.
mile. We
You gotta learn,
shot a
boy.
7-man limit on public land in 2 hours?
Yeah.
So it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It's
just
amazing.
really hard to get to.
It just sucks a whole lot.
You got to earn it. You definitely
Yeah,
got to
which is-
earn it.
Which is why you shoot ducks every single time. We shot a 3-man in
I mean,
45 minutes, and that was due to the fact that we couldn't shoot worth shit.
I mean, you got to go where the birds
Birds
are.
come from somewhere.
That's the end of the the name of the
Birds
game.
come from
You
Ducks.
even said it. Birds come from somewhere.
Dude.
You messed up your own saying.
Great spot,
Dude.
no birds.
Of course, I messed up my own saying.
That's incredible. How'd y'all find the
Magic.
spot?
Well, that's a
Yeah,
long
We
story.
were talking about that.
This
on
is
the air.
proprietary
Yeah.
information.
This is very proprietary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
we
need to sign an
chloroform you,
NDA
and then you-
type of deal.
Oh, you're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. You'll just wake up in the spot. We'll be like,
feel
"Hey,
like-
Carson, wake up, buddy,
like
wake
it.
up."
Have you ever been kidnapped before?
yes, I loved it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know when the CIA
how familiar are you with
couple times,
roofies?
yeah.
They took it a little too far.
Here we go. He always
Hey,
does.
hey,
He
always
takes.
Hey,
we
just
just
because you're in Galveston now doesn't mean you have to do it the locals do.
He gets behind the wheel and he just goes to that dark corner of that certain town. I don't want to say the word. And he gets a little crazy. His shirt's not even buttoned all the way. He's got this new haircut, and he's
He
looking.
looks- Craziest look at his eyes.
great. He looks great.
That picture he sent earlier.
It's
that's
awesome.
the picture for this podcast.
Dude, his haircut is awesome.
Send it to
He looks
Carson. Let him see
great.
the picture of
Dude,
you.
sport clips.
Dude, I'm being 100. I told you earlier.
I would,
Dude,
you went to sports
Dude,
clips?
if I didn't have a wife, I would make that my Tinder profile to right now.
Maybe I'll steal it.
Like, look at that.
Oh my God! Please use it on your account.
Dude,
Just say, "Here's a picture
look
of
at
my
that
friend
Tinder.
Abe."
Look at that.
Or
Look
just
at that
put a
look.
picture of all
Wow.
of us instead of a picture of any
at
certain
that
person.
stallion.
Just put singles of random people.
Just
Roll the dice.
it's just all your entire profile is just me, Jordan,
Exactly.
and Jared.
Absolutely.
Dude. Dude.
Oh,
I think
we're
that'll
not
work.
trying to get it
There's
to
so
work.
much
We're
that
just
can
trying
be
to
done
bother
with
the general populace.
Yeah, exactly. We like to be
we like
disruptive.
chaos. If you
Yeah.
haven't gathered,
I don't know if you've noticed that in the last hour and 22 minutes you've been in our lives, but we're fans of chaos. Yeah. So, no, but for real, we'll get you on, come down here. We'll get on some ducks, and
I'd love
yeah,
to, man.
It's yeah. You just
You seem like a
plan on coming down
just
and
like
hunting
us.
down here.
You started hunting.
For sure. We'll have to get some line out.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
bring some decoys. We'll have ourselves maybe some boys. We'll get a good mark and shoot
you
down.
started hunting at older
I know
ages
you
and
got-
stuff like
happen,
us,
man.
and I can definitely support that. And you've been cool to talk to and hang out with. And yeah, man, you should definitely join us on a hunt.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Let's get something set up this new season, and
It'll be here before you know it.
I'm really excited. I know, man. It's wild. It's funny. New Year happened, and the co-founder texted me. He was like, "Hey man, like Happy New Year." I was like, "Appreciate it." And I was like, "Hey man, let's make this the year of Jahpoo." So 2023,
right.
the year of Jahpoo, man.
I support
It's gonna
that.
happen.
We're 3
Can't
months from
wait.
teal season. Just so you know.
Absolutely.
3 months.
Damn right. I know. We'll be running some out in Eagle Lake, man. I'm excited.
So if
I think we're actually.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No.
Is that Jinx, you owe me a Coke type of situation?
It is. Pinch
Maybe
poke.
shirtless off the way.
Yeah, I think we're actually going to try to go up to Canada
Oh,
and get some
Canada.
preseason shots in Canada. Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to try to go hit August. Try to get some mallards coming in on them.
Is South Dakota? I wonder if the South Dakota draw is already over.
I want a teal hunt from Alabama all the way to
I'm not sure.
Galveston.
That'd be
Follow
awesome.
the migration. Like 2 weeks. I'm trying to
That
convince
would be
Abe to do
sick.
it with me.
Follow the same group.
I don't know if I'll be.
Follow the same group of blue wing all the way down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, those things
Oh,
fall
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, they're.
Literally like 60
Yeah,
miles
it's
per
like
hour.
they travel
Like,
overnight.
I mean-
you shoot at them and they're gone, done.
Yeah, they're on
we
the
start
coast.
in Alabama, mobile.
Like I was like,
Oh, and mobile.
I don't know if it's a scam or not, but like last year there was somebody shot a banded pintail in, I think it was in Stuttgart, and the banded pintail was banded in Tokyo,
Sounds
Japan.
right. Pintails move.
Wow,
I
that's
mean,
a lot. That's
think
a
about
ways right there.
Think about that.
Not if it was up in. Not if
Like,
it was.
that's the whole thing. Is like going back to the motion thing. Is like those birds travel
Ducks can
that
get
many
on a boat
miles.
and
Like
sit out and chill for a little bit and take a boat
And,
ride.
or if it's summered, like way up in northern,
you can ride it out.
up in Russia, and then came over toward Alaska.
The Aleutian
bumped
Islands.
from over there from, northeastern Russia over to Alaska, and then came down the coast,
Yeah.
and then burned across a
I'd love to
flyway.
know the journey of that bird. Yeah, and because
I mean, it's wild. I mean,
we got pretty good breeding. We got pretty good conditions in the breeding grounds.
I was
for
looking at that
ducks,
the other day. I
and
think I sent that to
think
you.
that. Yeah, it looks good.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a lot of. I mean, based on what's going
despite
on.
the wildfires that's going on, I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to even concentrate them in a
it's more the
denser
rainfall
area.
and pothole.
Hopefully,
but-
it's right over.
That's where the duck numbers
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah,
Like fireflies in DFW.
gotcha.
Exactly.
Abe said exactly. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
I mean, that's
What
the
about
big
butterflies?
thing. You can't habitat and
Fireflies.
Come my lady,
Fireflies are
come my
fire,
lady,
firefly
come my
populations
butterfly.
are very based on moisture, just like ducks. That's all.
She's a sexy.
yeah. I mean, they're saying already this year we've already had so much rainfall that like they're expecting just like because all the crops are actually like fruiting. They're saying that like this year is going to be a really good bird season. I mean, out in Uvalde and Hondo, I've been talking with some oil and gas guys down there, and they're saying there's already doves lined up on power lines and fence lines. They haven't seen this in like 10, 15 years, and like it's going to be a killer season. And I'm pretty damn pumped to see what's going to happen. I mean, you have all that food going around. It's going to be good for the birds. I mean, like I said, like we've already got like 3 dozen on the ranch we haven't seen in 2 years, so it's going to be.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a fruitful year,
I'm
boys.
excited for this
I'm
season.
excited.
So as
Yeah,
well.
it's
Time to break the dry
Last year was
streak, as they like to
bangers.
say.
Yeah, we
we
Yeah,
smashed.
I
it.
had.
What? I drove 8 hours to Arkansas 2 separate times.
I drove 5 minutes to the
0.
boat ramp and smashed it.
smashed. I mean,
That-
1 mile.
Yeah,
1 mile
to
from my
Joe Pole
house.
Lake.
You have a
Yeah,
boat.
Joe Pole Lake, because Austin lives in Cedar Hill.
I do. Cedar Hill State Park.
He lives.
So he hunts Joe Pell Lake.
Yeah.
Is that
No,
what
but
you're saying?
yeah,
we crushed
it.
it.
It was crazy this
We
year.
smashed
how many
it.
ducks we had. I mean, just crazy.
I shot more ducks this
dogs.
year than I have in the last 2-3 seasons combined.
Where we were hunting, there was duck tornadoes coming out
Yeah,
of coves.
and this
Multiple coves, duck tornadoes. Every cove we passed, they just like
Amen to that.
were coming up in droves, man. Yep.
I do think that people do like hate on the drought. I think drought is good because drought for hunting because it
Oh yeah, I'll agree with
concentrates.
that. 100%.
Yes, for breeding season, you want
Birds.
moisture and you want it to dry up and concentrate them on
Yep.
on backwaters and
Yep.
potholes and stuff.
'Cause we had
well,
I mean, good thing we got 3 months still.
I think the thing about the drought though is like if you have localized drought, it can be pretty. It can be
They'll
bad
fly
for
over
you
you.
in that spot because those
Yep.
birds will move. Yeah, they'll fly over you, or they'll move east
Yeah.
and west.
Like that
I mean,
film
I think
from
that's the
Japan.
biggest thing that we're really. Yeah, these birds are moving east and west.
Yeah.
They're moving north and south. They're not. I think people think they move north to south, and then in the spring they move south to north, and that's not the way it works. They move north. They move south. They move north. They move south. They move farther up north. They move further down south. They move east because, hey, there's a big drought here in Texas. They're moving over to Mississippi where there's water. They just have an uncanny knack to find water hundreds and hundreds of miles away from where
It's
they're
their
located.
job.
So it's just,
Stay alive.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they're just, I mean,
And the fact that they're able to navigate it without a GPS, and I can't even make it, 3 miles down I-35 without using an Apple
Because
CarPlay.
you're using
It's-
Apple
it's
CarPlay, it's
ridiculous.
going to drive you into a lake. But anywho,
yeah.
I digress.
that's
Dude.
neither here nor there.
Hey, Apple Maps is a play.
I'm just kidding.
Get an Android, Carson.
Oh man, I can't.
Dude, just be that guy in your
I'm
group
the
that sends
cool guy.
blue text message, green text messages. Yeah.
The cool guy. I don't know
you're
if it's
saying I'm not
actually,
cool?
yeah.
No, you are not.
No, that's fine.
I'm saying I don't wear corded headphones.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. So if so somebody can buy a duck decoy right now if they wanted to?
Yeah, so great. Yeah, so we are going to be opening up pre-orders June 15th. That's next week. And yeah, we'll be discounting them at 15% for pre-orders, and then retailing them at $195 during regular season.
All right.
And so yeah, man, really excited. Hop on it. Get on the train and let's start
figure
moving
that
the
out.
water.
We'd show some
like
off
it.
all season, no doubt.
Where can
No.
Yeah, I'm excited to give it a try this year. Where can somebody find
Absolutely.
where could they pre-order one if they wanted one in
Yeah. So right now, pre-ordering is just going to be on our website, jahpoo.com. You can find us on Instagram, Jahpoo Outdoors. Both manners, you got methods to pre-order. And yeah, man, really excited to get going up this next season, and we'll have orders coming out middle to end of August. Obviously, just depending on supply chain, keeping everybody in the loop, and yeah, we'll be crushing it during teal season. Is the
That's
game
awesome,
plan.
man.
Love it.
Good deal.
Love it,
Congratulations.
love
I think it's awesome. You kind of took this bull by the
Absolutely.
horns
Love
and ran with it.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
I know we talked a bunch of shit, but dude,
It
it's
takes
awesome.
balls for
It does.
sure.
No, I appreciate. I invite that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It was great speaking with you guys and meeting you gentlemen. And
Okay.
Let's
Cross the line
don't be
here.
strangers.
You
I
just called
hope
us
you'll.
gentlemen, dude, and
hope-
that's not cool, man.
That is
Let's
unnecessary.
watch it, okay?
We're trash bags.
Sorry, I'm just a
2/3 of
Southern
us-
boy.
That's
you know.
ageism,
Big
dude.
man.
Crap.
Ageism.
It's ageism.
2/3 of us.
Well, like I said, I really enjoyed it and appreciate you guys immensely for
anytime.
letting me hop on this, and hope.
So
hopefully
what
this
we're
isn't
going to do
the
is we're all
end,
going to meet down on the
and
coast
Don't be strangers.
in big duck season. You're going to do the hell hike. We're going to shoot a grip of birds, and then we're going to do another one. So that's
Another podcast, yes.
Can I bring my dog?
Of course. Now,
I'm there.
It's,
Let's
you can
do
100% bring your dog. You just need to understand
there's alligators.
that
I will not
there's
run.
alligators.
I will not run my
Those
dog.
gators.
We've
I'm
got
serious.
Well, she is not.
I spent
She is not a stranger to gators. We're very familiar.
Basically,
with them. We'll never
several
everyone's
run.
telling you
hunts
don't
within
bring
30 feet of a 5-foot gator.
Yeah, don't bring it.
They've had issues with gators
Yeah, gator
eating
better
their
watch
birds
out.
and following them around while they're picking up decoys. That's where we're going.
Okay, well then maybe we won't bring the dog.
Dog
Don't tell the
safe.
dog that.
I
but
love my dog. He don't go hunting there.
Yeah.
keep the dog safe.
No, I got a 17-year-old kid that goes and picks up ducks for us. It's all good, don't worry.
He's called my
perfect.
son.
That's
Fetch
the
that
best
bird up,
dog
boy.
there is.
Dude,
Now you see.
hey, first of all, let's do this.
Go, boy.
Can you imagine, like,
Get that boy.
all right, so Friday night, we swing by Home Depot. We're like, hey, we need 2. and then we're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna pay you like $200, and we're gonna give you a bunch of beer, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna lay down here in this layout blind, and we're gonna be like, hunt them up, and you're just gonna go get ducks for us the entire time.
We're done here.
Yeah.
We're done here.
Follow for more
I'm
ideas.
pissed, gentlemen.
Thanks for listening, guys. Q Braley, we appreciate it.
Stormwater Creek is the best. Grinch, the captain. Aim, the helper. Jordan, the problem solver. I hope you like Stormwater Creek. Stormwater Creek.